Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for joining me today. If you don't know me, my name is Blake. This is my motovlogging YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. And today, we're doing something a little different. I have had this bike a little over 2 years now. A lot has changed, a lot is the same. I just want to tell you what I think of the bike, review it, tell you about the mods that I've done on this thing. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get started. Let me show you one reason why I really love this thing. It taught me how to do my first wheelie. Yeah, this thing's pretty scary to start out on, but once you can do it, it's easy. It's all throttle control, and this thing, no problem. I love it. Let me start out with saying, this is not the best bike I've ever owned. The Street Triple, hands down, was the best bike I've ever owned. I think it was the highest quality build. It had the best components. It had the best motor. I just loved that thing. But, is this the most fun bike I've ever owned? Hands down, no questions asked. This is the most fun bike I've ever owned. I love this thing to death. It doesn't matter what I do to it. I can hammer it, keep it at a red line for an hour. It doesn't matter. This thing is bulletproof, rock solid. I recently hit, let's see, 10,000 miles on this thing. Not a single problem. I've never had an issue. It does have an issue with, it does not stay cool. It runs kind of hot, especially in the summertime. It's probably about 85 degrees right now. Not too crazy, but if I'm stuck at a red light or anything like that, this thing heats up real quick. But other than that, I really have no issues with it. It shifts smooth, it runs good, no problems. First thing, let's start off with saying, I'm gonna go from front to back and tell you what I think of the bike. So I've ridden the stock one, and now I've ridden this modified one. This is the most modified one I've ever ridden. I'll tell you, I'll stop, I'll talk about all the mods I've done, and we'll go from there. But first off, from the front, on a stock one, brakes suck, suspension sucks, the stock seating position was awful with the stock handlebar. That stuff you need to change. What I did to change mine, I have steel braided brake lines in the front, so it gives you not such a squishy feeling brake. Like, the brakes work fine, you just have to yank. And it didn't feel consistent. Every time I pulled on the brake, it felt like a different thing, you know? Like it wasn't comfy. It didn't feel right to me. And then, the next thing, the suspension, super soft. You hit bumps, you go around corners. It was pretty sketchy, to say the least. This thing did not like to be leaned. It was scary because every bump you'd hit, you'd bounce like an old gosh darn 4Runner who's had his shocks blown out for about 10 years. And then come to the stock seating position. With the handlebar, they used to be like up here, the stock handlebar, right here. So you're riding straight up like a freaking scooter. So I had, before these handlebars, I had a Woodcraft clip-on, which was probably about here, a little lower than these handlebars now, and I loved it. It felt more sport bike-ish. I loved the death. I was like, yep, that's how this bike should have been, came from factory. Then I rode it for a while, and you start to realize this isn't a sport bike. This is not a sport bike by any means. This is a bike that is meant to have fun and get rowdy on, with wheelies, just around town because of all that low-end torque. It doesn't want to be high in the rev range. It wants to be about 6,000 to 9,000. That's money spot. That mid-range, cool, it pulls hard, and I love it. Wheelies, super easy. You just clutch up. I'm not good enough to do it in third, but I know you can do this thing in third. First, second, on these stock ones that I've ridden with stock handlebar, first, second, third, the wheel will come right up. Mine's a little lower, doesn't do that as much, and you know, that's a good thing. I don't need it to come up every time I romp on the gas. So that's from the front. Those are the things I needed to be changed, and since then, I love this thing to death. I'll go to the middle about the engine. The engine on this thing, 850cc, 3-cylinder, I love it. Is it better than the 675 Street Triple? I don't think so. That thing was super smooth, super dialed. It was just comfy to ride. Super easy to ride. It was dialed. This thing, no, this is the first year they came out. This is the 2014 model with that 850cc triple, and it's a monster. It is a monster. And if you're not ready for it, you will be bucked off this thing. This is not a beginner bike by any means at all. Do not start on one of these, I'll tell you that right now. You will get in trouble, or you will get seriously hurt. I've ridden a 1290 Super Duke, KTM 1290, and that thing was 10 times easier to ride because this thing doesn't have all the electronics to dumb it down. Doesn't have ABS, doesn't have traction control. It just has B mode, standard mode, and A mode, which is just changes the fueling a little bit. Okay, now back to it. This is really important to me. Okay, so now I'm saying the engine. Yes, it's a good torquey engine. It puts the power down. This thing is a monster. If you know how to control it, this thing can do rowdy things. Trash, they're all trash stock. Rear brakes, meh, good luck. I pray that you know how to ride well to hold this thing. Rear suspension, might as well be no suspension at all. It is like a freaking pogo stick. Not that it's gonna buck you off, but it is literally like a cloud. Not as a sport bike or naked bike should be. It needs to be tight, it needs to be smooth. You need to have confidence in it, and I didn't have confidence. I was scared to take turns on a stock one, but now I have the Penske rear shock in this thing, and braided brake lines, steel braided brake lines, made a huge difference. I love it. But if you've made it this far in the video, I haven't even talked about the best part about this bike yet. The best part about it, reliable and cheap. You can get one of these. I bought this 2 years ago, 2016, with 6,000 miles on it, modded, done all this stuff. The guy before me put about 2,500, $3 grand worth of parts, worth of modifications on this bike, and I bought it with 6,000 miles for $5,800. For a bike with this much potential, this much capability, that shouldn't even be legal. To do all that stuff to a street triple, I'd have to spend, for a brand new one, I'd have to spend 13 grand. Or put 7 into a used one, put 6 grand into a used one, then buy suspension parts for it. Are you joking with me right now? Like, how there is no better budget bike. Nothing. The MT07, MT09, they are the best you can get for the budget. And I will never complain about this bike. I love it. I'm never scared about it breaking. I can thrash on it because I'm not scared, you know? I'm not scared it's gonna break. I'm not scared it's gonna, you know, explode or anything, because, you know, a Yamaha's reliability. I've seen videos with these over 40,000 miles. No issues at all. Mine has 10,000. Not a problem. So now, since I've talked about that, all that stuff, I'm gonna go get some pictures, and we're gonna review the bike. Tell you all the goodies I got on here. Okay, so now this is my 2014 MT09. As you can tell, it's changed a little bit from stock. So let's start from front to back. See, I'll tell you guys what I've done to this thing, what I want to do to this thing, basically what you guys should do, what is very important, I think, for this bike to be just perfect, to be the perfect daily, perfect rider, commute bike, hooligan bike. You can't beat it. All right, I'll start from the front. So first off, this bike was originally, it is that red and black color scheme, and these wheels are powder coated white, pure white. If you guys didn't know that, it's a big change. Got some wheel stickers on there. But the main part about the front is I have these Axion AK20 cartridges for the front suspension, and it is amazing. Full adjustability. Probably can't see that. Full adjustability. Absolutely love it. And then secondly, I have these core steel braided brake lines run all the way up, front and rear. Made a huge difference with the bike, with brake feel and everything like that. I highly recommend this stuff. So then move to the top. I have a Amazon. It was a smoked visor. Doesn't really do much for wind, but it does look great. I just plasti dipped it white. You guys seem to hate it. You guys seem to hate that white windscreen, but I absolutely love it. I think it's a good accent for this bike, but you guys seem to shit on me for it, and I don't know why, 'cause I like it a lot. So screw you. It's my bike. I want to do what I want to do. whatever, who cares? And then we'll go to the top. I got the Pro Taper Carmichael handlebars and some Pro Contour diamond grips, love them to death. eBay clutch lever, or brake lever and clutch lever. NRG mirror. I have one for this side. I have one for this side too, I just haven't put it on. But I love those things. They're NRG, I think they're called blind sight mirror. They're expensive, but I love them. I wouldn't change it for a thing. And we'll move back. Got these tank pads so you can hug the bike better. Looks great, feels great. Pro grip, zipper saver, tank saver thing. Come down here. What I want to do, I want to get some frame sliders for the bike for the front and rear, but I haven't done that yet. But I do have these frame sliders for the frame right there. I think, I can't remember. OES accessories, got them from eBay. They work great, no problems with them at all. So I'll move to the back. Seat, stock seat, feels great. And then this is the, oh, I forgot to say, I have the TST Industries flush mount indicators on both sides, look great. Have had zero issues with it. And then I go to the back as the 2014. If you guys don't remember, this has the huge, freaking ugly taillight, and I can't stand it. But this one is 10 times better. It is integrated left turn signal, right turn signal, and brake light. I'll show you guys that. So that's left turn signal. It's bright. Let me turn the brake on. It's really bright. You can see it any time of day. Right turn signal. Love it. Super easy install. It's just plug and play system, and I wouldn't change it for anything. Then we'll go down a little farther. I got the, this is also TST Industries low mount fender kit. So it blocks off this plate for where your stock fender was. Get a TST Industries block off, then you go down, you got your low mount. So it's a super clean look from front to rear. Your plate, everything, all clean. Low mount, super easy to install. Love it, wouldn't change it for a thing. It's exactly what I wanted. And then for the rear suspension, this is the Penske. Can't see it too well, but it's in there. Penske rear shock, fully adjustable. Fully adjustable, I love it. As well as the cartridge over here. Perfect. And then mainly, what I wanted to get an exhaust that wouldn't break the bank first off, and looks great. It's super tucked away, super clean lines, and it's a full system. So I got this from eBay. I got a lot of things from eBay because it works, and I've had zero issues with them. So this is the Black Widow low mount, flush mount exhaust, full exhaust system, front to rear. It just looks great. Had zero complaints with it. If you guys find this on eBay, it's kind of hard to find. I haven't found another one, and people who've asked me about on my exhaust video, they say can't seem to find it. It's like this company went out of business or something like that. But yeah, I love it. I recommend it highly. It doesn't have the best sound, but it's beautiful. Had zero issues. And yeah, basically that's it. If you guys have any other things, I have no other plans with this bike. Maybe just some tiny little things like vent guards and radiator guards, which I should probably do someday. But other than that, I love this thing. So I think that's gonna wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed that, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. If you liked it, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you already haven't, and like and comment what you thought. And that's all I got for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.